Welcome to Dundee, Scotland, a vibrant city of discovery. Nestled along the banks of the River Tay, Dundee is a city with rich history and a thriving cultural scene. From its contributions to industry and innovation to its modern-day transformation as a hub of creativity and design, Dundee offers something for everyone. Dundee's rich and diverse history spanning over a millennium. Seeing Dundee now, it's hard to believe that it's possible that people have been living in the area since the Mesolithic times. So we're looking at a time roughly 10,000 BC to 4,000 BC, though the timeline varies across different regions. During this period, humans began to shift from purely hunter-gatherers lifestyle to a more settled existence, while continuing to hunt and gather, but also starting to manage natural resources more strategically, laying the groundwork for agricultural revolution of the Neolithic period. We know there was Mesolithic activity in the area, as a kitchen midden was unearthed during work at the harbour area in 1879, where flints, charcoal and a stone axe has been found. There are recorded to be a number of Neolithic curses in the area, which are large, elongated, rectangular earthworks that date back to the early Neolithic period, typically constructed between 4000 and 3000 BC. These structures, found primarily in Britain and parts of Europe, consists of parallel ditches or banks that enclosed vast areas, sometimes stretching for several miles. Their exact purpose remains a subject of debate. Some of the most famous examples include the Stonehenge cursus and the Dorset cursus in England, which continue to intrigue researchers seeking to unravel their mysteries. As well as the early Neolithic curses, there are many associated burial barrows has been identified to the northwestern end of the city. There are also a number of stone circles just outside of Dundee. Unfortunately, most have now been lost. There is a stone circle that remains, and that is the Belgarthno stone circle just within Dundee's western suburbs. There are 9 stones that make up this monument. Only one remains standing, the rest are now lying flat. A lack of evidence around the stone circles has left it difficult to determine a precise age, but it is thought to date from around the late Neolithic to early Bronze Age. The circle has been subject to vandalism in the past and has recently been fenced off to protect it. Bronze Age finds are fairly abundant in Dundee and the surrounding area. The museum at Dundee is really worth a visit if you're in the area. Not only is it full of the whole of Dundee's history, it also holds a range of these stunning carved stone balls, which date from the late Neolithic to early Bronze Age. What is interesting is that it has been mentioned that the majority have not come from archaeological sites, which do make them difficult to date. These type of carved balls are mainly found in Scotland, but also elsewhere in Britain and Ireland. I was only in Dundee for a few days, so I didn't get a chance to visit the stone circle, but I did get to visit a place known as Dundee Law. Dundee Law is an extinct volcanic hill that rises 174 metres above sea level, making it the highest point in Dundee, also making it quite a walk to get to, but the views from the top are really worth the hike to get there. At the top, the breathtaking views of the city, the River Tay and the surrounding countryside. The hill has a rich history. There is some evidence that the hilltop was used by the Bronze Age people who buried some of their dead with possessions such as weapons and clothing. with archaeological evidence indicating that it was also used as a defensive site during the Iron Age, an ideal position for being able to see so far ahead. They built an earth, stone and wooden fortress enclosure, which is believed to have been destroyed in a great fire that melted rock around the wooden structure. There is also evidence of a later fort, possibly built in the 16th century. Over the centuries, it has played a strategic role in various conflicts, including during the Wars of Scottish Independence. John Graham, 7th of Claverhouse, 1st Viscount Dundee, was a Scottish soldier and nobleman. He was responsible for policing southwest Scotland to suppress religious unrest and rebellion during the late 17th century. Later, as a general to the Scottish Army, he was made Viscount Dundee by King James VII and remained loyal to James after the Revolution of 1688. It's said that he raised the Scottish royal standard on Dundee law in support of his king, country and the Jacobite cause. Dundee rallied Highland clans loyal to the Jacobite cause and led the Jacobite Rising in 1689 to victory at Killiecrankie, but lost his life in the battle. This first Jacobite Rising was unsuccessful, but the first Viscount of Dundee was made a Jacobite hero and acquired the nickname Bonnie Dundee. At the summit is a striking war memorial, stands as a tribute to the soldiers who lost their lives in World War I and II. Today it serves as a space for walking, hiking and sightseeing, with well-maintained paths leading to the top, whether visiting for its historical significance, geological interest, or simply to enjoy the stunning views. Dundee Law remains one of the city's most iconic landmarks. Throughout the medieval period, Dundee thrived as a centre for trade and commerce, exporting goods such as wool and textiles to European markets. However, the Wars of Scottish Independence brought turmoil, with the city being sacked by English forces in 1296. William Wallace, a national hero of Scotland, is said to have had strong ties to the area, further cementing Dundee's place in Scottish history. Dundee became a walled city in 1545 during a period of English hostilities. The Wisht Arch was believed to be the only remaining part of the wall, though a piece behind St Paul's Cathedral may have survived, though this remains unconfirmed. The Industrial Revolution brought profound changes to the city. By the 19th century, Dundee had become globally renowned for its jute industry. Jute is a natural fibre obtained from the stalks of a cucurumus plant, primarily grown in India and other tropical regions, known as the golden fibre. Jute is prized for its strength and durability. This coarse fibre, used to make sacking and twine, was a lifeblood to the city for over a century, and by the 1830s it was discovered that the treatment with whale oil, a byproduct of Dundee's whaling industry, made the spinning of the jute fibres possible. Raw jute was imported from India and was processed in the city mills, drawing workers from across the country. Women played a significant role in the jute mills, giving Dundee a unique social dynamic compared to other industrial cities. Alongside jute, Dundee became famous with jam production, thanks to the efforts of the Keeler family, who made marmalade. James Keeler and Sons was established in 1797 in Dundee, exported marmalade and confectionery across the British Empire. In 1889, Alexander Keeler was the sole heir and in time became a Scottish archaeologist. Alexander Keeler at some point arrived at Avebury in Wiltshire, and what he saw is not what we see today. In time, he used his wealth to acquire the total of 950 acres of land at Avebury for preservation, where he conducted excavations and re-erected some of the standing stones. Keeler's first major excavation at Avebury was in 1937, and many years of work was carried out there. The way we see Avebury today is all thanks to this man from Dundee, and in 1943 Keeler sold his holdings to Avebury to the National Trust. Additionally, journalism flourished with the founding of D.C. Thomson, a publishing house responsible for the beloved comics such as the Beano and the Dandy, which remain cultural icons to this day. The decline of the jute industry in the mid-20th century led to economical challenges, forcing Dundee to diversity, the city shifting towards education, technology and media. The 21st century has seen Dundee undergo a remarkable transformation with significant investment in cultural and technological development. The waterfront redevelopment project, highlighted by the opening of the V&A Dundee Museum in 2018, has repositioned the city as a hub of design and tourism. In 2014, Dundee was recognised as the UK's first UNESCO City of Design, further enhancing its reputation on the global stage. There is so much more history to this amazing city, more than I have covered in this video, so here's a view, but there is so much more. 1296 Dundee Castle was surrendered to the English, but in 1297 William Wallace besieged and captured Dundee Castle. Then in 1306 Dundee Castle was retaken by the English. In 1313 Dundee Castle was then destroyed by Robert the Bruce. In 1564 the Howth, a burial ground, was established and really a place worth visiting. 1825 William Scott writes Bonnie Dundee, a poem and song of honour of the first Viscount of Dundee. In 1836 St Andrew's Cathedral was completed. In 1847 the Dundee and Perth Railway opens. 1855 St Paul's Cathedral was completed. In 1878 the first Tay rail bridge opens, but in 1879 the Tay Bridge disaster, where the rail bridge collapses, killing around 75 people. In 1887 the second Tay rail bridge opens, and in 1889 Dundee becomes the first Scottish city to be granted city status. Today, Dundee is a vibrant city that blends its historical legacy with modern innovation. Its universities continue to attract students from around the world, while its creative industry thrives in areas such as gaming, designs and life sciences. There is so much to see and visit while in Dundee, and I have put a lot out in this video. Dundee is a place I highly recommend visiting, for it's hard to believe that such a city started thousands of years ago when the first hunter and gatherers appeared. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. I truly appreciate every single one of you. Whether you're a viewer, subscriber, Patreon supporter or channel member, your continued encouragement and generosity means the world to me, and allows me to keep creating content we are passionate about. I couldn't do this without you, and I am so grateful to have such an amazing community. Thank you for being part of this journey, and until the next time, stay safe.